What if I told you that a single Korean drama, not an action blockbuster, not a hard-hitting news expose, but a fantasy romance, managed to offend millions around the world, that a simple story about wishes, magic, and fate has become ground zero for 2025's biggest pop culture controversy? This isn't mindless drama bashing. This is the real story behind Genie, Make-A-Wish, the Netflix K-drama that went from much-awaited spectacle to a global flashpoint, starring top Hallyu icons Suzy and Kim Woo-bin. In today's video, we're going far beyond the headlines, unpacking the outrage, the creator's defense, and what this all means for international entertainment. How did a fantasy series ignite religious outrage, spark hashtags, and become Netflix's most controversial drama of the year? Is this just a case of creative freedom gone too far, or something deeper? Get ready. This is the Genie controversy, and you're about to discover what really happened. Our topic today is Genie, Make-A-Wish, a 2025 K-drama that began with the promise of love and spectacle, only to find itself at the heart of a firestorm. This video will guide you through the drama's premise, the origins of the controversy, religious and cultural sensitivity issues, fan backlash, and the industry implications for global storytelling in the K-drama world. If you want to understand how one TV series can affect millions, challenge cultural norms, and shake the boundaries of storytelling itself, stay tuned. The dream drama that turned into a nightmare. Let's begin by setting the stage. Genie, Make-A-Wish was conceived as a fantasy romance blockbuster, a highly anticipated reunion for fans of Suzy and Kim Woo-bin, whose chemistry first caught fire in Uncontrollably Fond. This debut sparked a massive media buzz, not just in Korea, but internationally. The story premise seemed simple, blending well-loved tropes with fresh elements. Suzy plays Ka-young, a world-weary woman who, through a twist of fate, stumbles upon a mystical lamp. From that lamp emerges a genie, played by Kim Woo-bin, who has been imprisoned for centuries, longing for freedom. The twist? This isn't a traditional wish-granting tale. Ka-young is offered 3 wishes, with each one revealing deeper emotional stakes. As wishes turn into confessions, resentment, and ultimately a bittersweet romance, the show explores themes of destiny, redemption, and lost love. With a blockbuster cast, a Netflix budget, and fantasy elements, what could possibly go wrong? As it turns out, a lot. The name that sparked the fire. The controversy began with a single name, one that writers may have chosen for its gravitas or mythological weight, but which carried a very different meaning for millions. In episode 1, viewers are introduced to the genie's true identity, Iblis. In the drama, Iblis is portrayed as a tragic anti-hero seeking redemption, a magical figure deserving sympathy and perhaps love. But in Islamic belief, Iblis is not some misunderstood immortal. He is, unequivocally, the devil, a central figure in the Quran, cast out for refusing to bow to Adam, and symbolic of ultimate evil. This choice was seen by many as a careless, or worse, deliberate provocation. Why use a name so deeply embedded in faith and symbolism, especially when less controversial alternatives were available? When Muslim viewers recognized Iblis as the protagonist, the outrage was immediate and powerful. Social media platforms exploded. Hashtags like #CancelGenieMakeAWish, #BoycottNetflix, and #RespectReligion trended for days on X and TikTok. Quotes like, "Why romanticize evil?" and "Our beliefs aren't props for fantasy" dominated the conversation. Some attempted nuance, pointing out that jinn, genies, and Iblis are different entities in Islamic tradition, and that the writers may have confused mythology. But for many, the damage was already done. Cultural critics and faith leaders condemned the move. The conversation quickly outgrew the show itself, fueling intense debate about representation, cultural appropriation, and religious sensitivity in global media. More than a name, visuals, acting, and quality concerns. But the controversy didn't stop with the name. Before the show even aired, it faced heat for its promotional material. Fans pointed out that the posters and teasers, the very first impression for a blockbuster series, looked awkward and unpolished, with claims they appeared cheap, AI-generated, or just uninspired. Viewers questioned how such a high-profile cast could be paired with such low-budget visuals. When episodes finally dropped, the disappointment grew. The chemistry between Suzy and Kim Woo-bin, so anticipated by fans, was called awkward and even robotic in online forums and reviews. Not only did the depiction of Iblis spark backlash, but fans also criticized direction, writing, and emotional delivery. Online critics dubbed it Netflix's biggest Korean drama flop of 2025. Rating platforms reflected this, with a 6.8 out of 10 on RatingRaf, as low as 2.0 out of 10 on IMDb, and half-star reviews across Google and Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus was brutal. For many, the series had failed on multiple fronts, as both a K-drama fan event and as global entertainment. The stars respond: Suzy, Kim Woo-bin, and the creative team. As Outrage continued, attention naturally turned to the show's stars. Would Suzy and Kim Woo-bin defend the production or apologize? Suzy, ever the professional, broke her silence during a variety show interview to address the growing criticism. She said, "There's always a reason for creative choices. I believe viewers will understand when they see the full story." She further acknowledged that the poster looked odd and shared her hope that the series would be viewed in context, not just through headlines. Kim Woo-bin, in contrast, chose to stay silent and focused his public statements on standard promotions and fan events, avoiding direct engagement with the controversy. Fans of both stars were fiercely divided. Some defended them, arguing that actors cannot control script choices or marketing. Others felt they should have distanced themselves more clearly from creative decisions that offended so many. Meanwhile, the show's writers and Netflix remained largely silent, a decision that only fueled more speculation and frustration among viewers and activists. The firestorm, social media, boycotts, and global reaction. The backlash was most intense and most visible on social media. There were calls for global boycotts, petitions to cancel the series, and demands for Netflix to apologize. Quotes and hashtags blanketed online platforms in multiple languages. Here's just a fraction of what was posted. "Barely 2 minutes in, and I'm supposed to root for Iblis? This is blatant disrespect to our religion." Quranic names aren't entertainment. Faith isn't a backdrop for fantasy. It takes less than 5 seconds to Google religious references. This isn't ignorance, it's arrogance. However, not everyone was in universal agreement. Some viewers, especially outside the Muslim community, argued for artistic freedom. They claimed K-dramas frequently borrow from different mythologies, and that Genie, Make-A-Wish, was being unfairly singled out for a mistake in adaptation rather than deliberate malice. Others, including critics from the Korean entertainment industry, highlighted that K-dramas are now global content. With audiences in every country and culture, industry insiders acknowledged that future hits must navigate global sensitivities as a matter of course, not after the fact. The bigger picture: culture clash and K-drama's new reality. What's happening here isn't just about a misguided name or a single K-drama, it's a cautionary tale for the entire entertainment industry. The rise of Netflix, Disney+, and other global streaming platforms means that no show is just local anymore. A creative decision made in Seoul can have real effects in Jakarta, Istanbul, Cairo, or London overnight, with every line dissected on social platforms. For K-drama writers, directors, and producers, this means unprecedented fame, but also unprecedented responsibility. One reference can be interpreted in ways the original creators never imagined. And for many cultures, especially those with deep religious traditions, certain symbols, names, or narratives aren't up for reinterpretation, especially for entertainment. A few questions now loom large. Should dramas be censored or edited when they offend specific groups? How can creators balance respect for global audiences with storytelling freedom? Is it even possible to navigate every cultural taboo when stories cross so many borders? The answers aren't simple, but the Genie Make-A-Wish firestorm shows that the era of global TV brings global scrutiny and local expectations. Official responses: Netflix, producers, and the aftermath. As the days and headlines continued, industry insiders wondered, would Netflix or the producers issue an apology, edit the show, or simply weather the storm? As of this script, Netflix has made no official statement and no disclaimers or edits have appeared on the streaming platform. Some entertainment journalists and industry experts suggest that Netflix is monitoring social backlash closely and may make quiet changes if protests escalate or if governments get involved. In the past, Netflix and other streamers have edited or removed controversial content when facing coordinated campaigns. There is also speculation that future K-dramas may be subject to stricter script reviews, more international consultation, or trigger warnings to avoid similar uproar. Whatever Netflix decides, one thing is certain: the lessons of Genie Make-A-Wish will shape the future of international drama production from script to screen. Impact on Suzy, Kim Woo-bin, and K-drama fandom. What about the stars and their millions of devoted fans? While Suzy and Kim Woo-bin both have strong domestic and international followings, this controversy likely marks a turning point in how their work is received globally. Both have faced negative press before, but nothing on this scale. Fans continue to defend their favorite idols, blaming poor writing and lack of cultural research rather than performance. Fan forums across Korea, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East remain divided. Some vow never to watch again, while others have launched hashtag campaigns of support, hoping their stars can move past this moment. Industry analysts believe both actors will survive the storm, but with some wounds. The real casualties, they say, may be the creative risks and freedom that K-dramas have enjoyed until now. Creators will now look twice before touching mythological or religious themes, knowing that Netflix's global audience will be watching and judging. Reflections: the limits of fiction. Why does all of this matter? Because it's a powerful example of how fiction, faith, and fandom collide in the world of modern entertainment. Genie Make-A-Wish started as a fantasy, an escape from reality. But the backlash shows that fiction isn't free from real-world impact. Names hold weight, stories can wound, and the digital age gives every viewer a voice, for better or for worse. It begs the question, who decides which boundaries creative work should or shouldn't cross? And when should art listen? So, what does the Genie Make-A-Wish controversy teach us? That even a single word can carry generations of history. That the urge to tell a powerful story must always come with respect and awareness. And that as worlds collide on streaming platforms, every show is a global conversation. Do you think the writers made an understandable mistake? Or is this a case where creative curiosity crossed the line? Should art be left to imagination, or must it answer to every audience? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is a debate bigger than one drama. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share. Because trust me, this isn't the last K-drama storm. Another one is already brewing.